Shidi Shari. Good morning. Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. Let's get into it. GNRC. Last time I brought this chart up was when it filled the gap, right? And I said it's time to go. Well, you had 2 days, almost 3, to get out, and now it's back. Where would be a good spot to buy? Would I buy at the 50? The answer is not really. I don't think you could. Okay, if you let's see if we draw a trend line here and see it's there. Okay, well, not quite. Okay, so the trend line is just under the 50. So let's put an alert there. Let's put an alert there so that we know that it got there. Not that I will buy there. Okay, breaking down. Okay, I'm wary about this sector. Okay, the one thing that it have going for GNRC, for those that don't follow it often, is if you live here in Florida, from June to September, with the hurricane threats, there's always a spike in sales of these things. And I mean, if there's a hurricane coming, I can guarantee you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and you will see lines of people buying these things. There will be not one on the shelf. I know. I bought one. I was one of those people that bought one and never used it. Okay, I bought one after the last big hurricane that we had back in 2017. Yeah, and then I sold it. I think I paid like maybe 400 for one, and then when I sold the house a couple years ago, I sold it to a guy for like $100, brand new, because I don't need it anymore and have no desire to ever have to use it, But yeah, so this is always a spike in sales during hurricane season, but with the weak housing market that is here and now, I'm not sure if it's a good place to put your money, but I would consider buying it more down here at the 200. Okay, but for sure, when the alert go off, we'll see where it can go next. But reflow down here at 125-ish, but 118-ish is probably the safest spot. Okay, but for now, if you didn't sell it up at the gap fill, I don't know what to tell you. MRVL, I was out, right? I was out on this move here. Of course, I was out more like here, okay, right here, instead of up there. But it got to the trend line and nasty. Okay, it's back into the buy zone. So if you start to nibble, I would not chase it here. Look like in pre-market it's popping 67 for now, but not. But to me, 66. Okay, I have an order in at 66, all the way down to 63. Yeah, that's not a bad place to. Of course, it didn't get that low yesterday. The low yesterday was 66.1, so it just missed my order. But I will leave the order there at 66 down to 63. On further weakness, I probably will sell a 62 naked puts. You got the 200 daily moving average coming up. You get the reflow here, so that's a good spot to sell. If you want to be even extra safe, do a 61. Okay, but yeah, that's MRVL for you. It's back in the buy zone. So if you're out, might not be a bad place to put your money. Now, the next few tickers I go through will be small biotech that got beat up pretty badly, and I'm gonna do something that we'll see how it looks. Okay, first of all, let's take a look at the RCKT Rocket. I left the fib drawing here. From the fib is from the low from the start of a breakout. Okay, you can do, you know, I left this drawing in to show you how things behave. You look at, for those that don't use a fib often, 61.8 is considered, I think some people call it the golden ratio. Okay, 61.8. That's the fib that has the most support or strong buy signal. And take a look. As always, just because it violates something does not mean that it's over. Okay, it can violate it and then come back. Okay, so rocket, there you go. If you draw the fib, now drawing the fib is it's also kind of tricky. Okay, let me talk about that a little bit. Okay, so let me remove this fib. You can draw it from the start of the gap up as well. Okay, you can do that as well. So let's do that and see how different it would look. Add a drawing, fib retracement. You draw it right to the tip of the high. Okay, so the high is 32.53. There you go. And there you go. So depending on where you start your fib, it's slightly different, right? But still. Now the previous fib I drew was, of course, at the 52-week low on the whole move. Okay, so give or take, it's around the golden ratio. There is a reason why it is hanging around there. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the next one that also got beat up. Okay. Where are we going to be drawing? Okay. So this, you can draw the fib right here. That's one, of course, the big gap up, right? So let's start out one here with the big fib. Well, you don't need to draw. If you draw it from here, then it's a complete retracement, correct? But let's take a look at where the other spot was. So this stream is more about drawing fib. Okay, so you can see how the fib work. Okay, no doubt at the golden ratio right here of 61.8, you see it came down, and then there's some kind of support right here, right? Because if you look at the chart without the fib, you see that this is right here is below the gap up, right? And so it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, in no man's land. But there's a fib there. That's why there are some kind of support there. And then it danced on the fib for a while, and then it came down to the next fib, okay? And it danced around, and then it failed. Now it's giving back completely, right? So that's one way to look at that fib. Now you can do another way to draw the fib is take a look at this one. Basically, this stock kind of have a resistance, right here, around here. So you can draw a fib at a level of resistance that lasted for quite some time. So the breakout, that's where the fib is. Okay, the fib is about a breakout. So you can take a look at, because the breakout is more than just this right here at this spot. Okay, the breakout is above this level that it was flatlining for many months. Okay, so on this, then you see the golden ratio, the 61.8 now is right here. It came down and danced, okay? So that's how you use a fib, okay? I remove it because a lot of times it makes the chart so busy looking. Now, the disaster du jour yesterday, okay? Now, once again, let's do a fib. Where would I do a fib? I think the good area to do a fib is right here. Why? Okay, first of all, it's ref high back here, and that was a level of resistance. And once it make this move here, that's the breakout before the gap up. Okay, so to me, that's the logical spot to draw a fib. Okay, let's see how things pan out. 99.41. Wow, what you see? What is that a surprise? You think it would be like a no man's land? Oh, it violate the 100 moving average. This is why I stress often use multiple TA tools to come to your conclusion of where to buy or where to sell or where to put a stop. Okay, it's more than just moving average. This is why I don't like to just focus on moving average, and I may not talk about it on every video or every chart, but I use a fib often. Okay, and as you can see, it came down to the fib and bounce. How high can it go? We don't know. Okay, but yeah, it came down to a fib level. Let's go down to the last one. All right, now this one is a little bit tricky because the big gap up came down. Okay, so yes, it's already retraced completely, but let's see if we can go 2 years. Okay, because ARGX. Okay, look at that. Okay, so let's see if we can make sense of this move. Now, if you want to draw the fib here, I would say that a good spot to draw the fib is here, the start, not down here, okay? Because sure, it's a big gap up here. You can do, there's a couple of spots you can do. You can do the low, right? Let's start out with the low, okay? Or ref low that seem to be a good level of support. Okay. 550. There you go. And wouldn't you know, the 61.8 is right there, right at the level of the zone that I drew in without using the fib. So yeah, it's not random. Okay, it's a lot of time these things work in mysterious way as far as Fibonacci. Okay, it's mysterious yet very interesting, right? So you can see, right? And then okay, so that's one way to look at it. So I highly recommend those have free time and play around with the chart, do the fib. Okay, now another spot to do the fib is, I would say, like right here at this resistance. Okay, let's do it right here. Add a drawing, do the fib, 550, yeah. Once again, look, the golden ratio. Does it look like a random spot that it came down because it's below the gap up? Okay, it's below the gap up. Normally, when you see a gap up fail, the low of the gap up fail, and it falling apart, you're like, oh, it's gonna fill the gap below. Well, guess what? It came down to the golden ratio and bounced. Okay, sure, it failed eventually later, but it came down. Guess what? Where it came down? 78.6 fib. confluence with the 200 daily moving average and bounce, right? So there's a lot of spots. If you use these kind of tools, you see buy point, right? You see it. There's a reason why things bounce where they bounce or fell where they fell. Okay, so that's it for today. Hopefully, this extra long session illustration of FIB show you that what I usually say is true. It's not random. Things happen